Crow is generally considered to be one of, if not the most popular brawlers inside of Brawl Stars. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you all his best modes, his best maps, his best kit, and his best tips in order to be the best Crow player you can be. So we're going to start off with his kit. And for gadgets, he has the slow and he has the shield. The slow used to be like one of the best gadgets in the game, but it's had so many nerfs that like, honestly, they're kind of even now. It's not even like the worst one of the two. The slow is very situational. If you're in a mode like hot zone or somewhere where you're going to control a point, then the slow generally can be the best one. But otherwise, the shield is nice because Crow, his biggest weakness is probably his health. So having extra security with your health is very useful. As for the star powers, he's got the one that reduces the healing, and he has the one that makes you do more damage when an opponent's under 50% health. I never really use the one where he does more damage under 50% health on an enemy. I just don't see the value compared to slowing their healing. Like Crow, he basically makes it so it's impossible for a healer to thrive. Say you're in a ranked match, and they draft, I don't know, say it's the healing modifier where you get 30% more healing from all non-passive sources. Say they pick Berry or something first pick, or Poco, even though Poco is not very strong in this beta. You just pick Crow, suddenly their healing is 30% weaker, I'd like to say. I don't have the exact stats with me, but suddenly they can't heal, and it's basically gone to zero. There's no point having that pick. So it's a very strong star power. As for the gears, I think the first one that you should take is a shield. I think he's very squishy, as I said before, so having any form of health is good. As for the second one, you can kind of go with a lot of things. I'm going to say the ones you shouldn't pick first. I wouldn't go with speed, because there's not much of the time you're going to be sitting in a bush. You're going to be moving around, you're going to be chipping people, you're going to be doing a lot of movement. So there's no point really having that speed, and he's already quite fast. There's no point having health. He's got a low amount of health to begin with. Just healing quick has not really got to do much for him. I would not take a vision. It's a poison brawler, so they're going to be made clear anyway. But damage and gadget charge, I would take one of those. I think gadget charge is probably the best because both of his gadgets are pretty good, but damage is definitely a good contender as well since his damage output is very weak. As for his best modes, I want to make it very clear, do not play him in Heist. Please do not be my ranked randoms. I hate how many people go hypercharge Crow in Heist, do no damage to the safe the whole game, and then think because of a hypercharge they're going to like pull out 15% to the high safe and win the game from that. He's so much of a liability until he gets his hypercharge, and his hypercharge isn't even that good. I know in this clip I was playing him in Heist. I literally just played the first two ranked games, and Heist happened to be one of them. I don't even have his hypercharge. I personally think his hypercharge is very overrated. I think it's like a D to F tier in comparison with all the other ones. It's not a bad one. Like, all the hypercharges are good, but it's not like a good one. It's just a good one. So yeah. As for his best modes though, primarily I would say Brawl. He's very good at being able to like pass to himself with his super, being able to assassinate people with the ball, slow them down, be able to protect goals with his shield. There's a lot of opportunities for him to do well. Same with gem grab. A lot of the time he can poison them and do a lot of like chip damage to the gem carrier, basically keeping them away from the gem mine or in general away from the action, which is very useful. He is also good in showdown, I will say that, but like, this is a competitive guide. Go away, teamers, win traders, showdown players, please. I'm kidding. Watch the video, please. But yeah, it's generally not really a argument for him to be played anywhere else. I wouldn't play him in hot zone, but like, he can get away with it. He's just too squishy to hold his own. It's like the tick argument, like whether tick's a good hot zone brawler. Yes, they have good ways of keeping people out of the zone. Same with Crow. Both of them are good, but Tick can't hold his own and Crow can't hold his own either, so the argument goes away. The other modes, Knockout, he can be pretty good in Knockout, to be fair. It just depends on the map. Maps like Flare and Phoenix, and sometimes like the one with the bushy walls on the side, on either side can be good. But then the open maps are really bad for him, like Bell's Rock and Deep End and all those. Wipeout, he's mid. Again, it depends on the map, but most of the maps for Wipeout are too open, which kind of fits in his weakness of being able to get easily outclassed by anyone with more range. Like, he is so squishy that, like, 2 shots from a Piper, dead. Maybe even 1 shot if they've got ambush. There's a lot of opportunities for a sniper to just absolutely wipe him. And he's just too squishy to do a lot of things. He's made to poke damage, which is a weird. You've got to play him like a sniper. Like, keep out of range unless they're low where you go in. But, like, you can't because he's very low health and very hard to, like, not be outranged from someone else, if that makes sense. It's kind of, he's a weird boy. He fits into, like, his own little niche. Like, he's not really like anyone else, which I suppose is nice. It's very unique. But yeah, main tips you want to know. The main things I can think of is just, like, make sure to be able to stop them from healing. If anyone picks a healer in ranked, Crow's always, like, one of the best, like, 5 options, other than someone who's, like, very aggressive and can counter, like, the passive playstyle of a healer. And I also think his gadgets are the main things you'll need tips for. Like, just knowing when to use your gadgets is the most important thing with Crow, because if you waste them all at the start of a game or don't use them and have a bunch spare, you've not played Crow well enough. You need to have them all used by the end of the game, but also use them at the right times, if that makes sense. Like, with his shield gadget, it's very often that people just use it when they get hit once, and then the person just won't attack them again, or will be more passive because they see they've got the shield and can't kill them as easily, and that gadget suddenly becomes useless. With the slow, you might slow them or slow one person in a time where it's not really useful. A lot of the time with Crow, it's very useful to use the slow when everyone's poisoned. That doesn't always happen, and a lot of the time it's difficult to get everyone poisoned, but if you do, just pop the gadget. Most of the time it will benefit your team, because Crow is a very, like, team-orientated brawler, even though he's good in the showdown. Because, yeah, he has the assassination capabilities that he needs, because he's an assassin, who would have guessed, but he's also very passive with his low health, his low damage, and his low kits in general. So, with all that being said, I feel like that's the main stuff you need to know to play Crow. So get out there and be the biggest bird.